Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsaf Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. Israel launched 11 consecutive strikes on Lebanon's capital, Beirut, yesterday. Israeli forces say they hit Hezbollah's intelligence headquarters. They also struck a warehouse near Beirut airport. The Israeli Defense Forces announced the killing of a senior Hezbollah leader, Mahmoud Youssef Anisi. One of the Israeli strikes in Beirut reportedly targeted senior Hezbollah leader Hashem Safieddine. Israel has not confirmed that their attack was successful. Safieddine is one of the frontrunners to succeed the slain Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah. He is also Nasrallah's cousin. The Israeli military has vowed to continue attacking Hezbollah targets across Lebanon. The country's military chief, Herzi Halevi, said that Israel will not let the Iran-backed group settle in Lebanon again. Halevi added that Hezbollah will continue to witness severe blows with more strikes on Beirut and Bekaa Valley. A rocket attack triggered air raid sirens in the Israeli city of Haifa. Israel said that Hezbollah fired 20 rockets at the city. However, the rockets were intercepted by Israeli defense systems. This comes as the Iran-backed group has ramped up its attacks on Israel following the Israeli military's ground operation in Lebanese territory. An Israeli strike killed at least 18 people in the West Bank refugee camp of Tulkarem yesterday. The Israeli military added that it has killed Hamas leader Zahi Yasser Abd al-Razik Ufi, among other people in the strike. According to reports, the airstrike marked the deadliest Israeli attack in the West Bank since the year 2000. Hamas has warned of a dangerous escalation against the allegedly cruel attack. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei addressed worshippers in Iran's capital Tehran in a rare Friday sermon. He delivered the sermon for the first time in almost 5 years. Khamenei was also seen carrying a rifle along with him. He spoke about Iran's missile attack on Israel and called it legal and legitimate. Iran's supreme leader said it was the minimum punishment for the crimes that were committed by Israel. He also referred to Hamas's October 7th attack last year as logical and legal. Iran summoned the German and Austrian ambassadors yesterday after their governments criticized the Iranian missile attack on Israel. Earlier, Germany and Austria had rebuked Iran's attack and had summoned its envoys. Iran has labeled the criticism unacceptable. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden has said that he doesn't believe there could be a full-blown war in West Asia and that it can be avoided. However, he added that there is a lot to be done to calm tensions in the region. The remarks come amid the nearly daily exchange of fire between Israel and Hezbollah and the rising tensions between Israel and Iran. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired an urgent meeting on the West Asian conflict yesterday. During the Cabinet Committee meeting, the Indian Prime Minister described recent developments in West Asia as deeply concerning. According to reports, the impact of the conflict on trade and the supply of petroleum products was also discussed in the meeting. The United States and India are set to work together on supply chains of critical minerals, including lithium and cobalt. These minerals are used in electric vehicles and clean energy applications. The agreement aims to expand and diversify critical mineral supply lines. The announcement came after the U.S. Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo and India's Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal met in Washington. Nepal has signed an agreement with Bangladesh to export 40 megawatts of hydroelectric power using India's power grid. The Himalayan nation is planning to use its snow-fed rivers to help strengthen its economy. Nepal will export the electricity to Bangladesh from mid-June to mid-November for 5 years. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has issued a stern warning to South Korea. He said that the North will not hesitate to use nuclear weapons if the South or its allies breached the country's sovereignty. Kim also criticized South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol for threatening to end the North Korean regime. He added that the South Korean leader's remarks reflected which side was disturbing regional peace and security. Protests broke out in Austria's capital, Vienna, against the possible return of the far-right Freedom Party. Nearly 17,000 protesters marched towards Parliament. This came after the party won the national elections on Sunday. The Freedom Party won almost 29% of the vote, while the Conservative People's Party managed to secure over 26% of the votes. However, the far-right party will not be able to form a government without a coalition partner. Mexico's new president, Claudia Sheinbaum, has called for a probe into the killing of 6 migrants near the southern Mexico border. This comes as Mexican soldiers fired at a group of 33 migrants who were traveling in a truck. The vehicle was apparently mistaken for that of criminals. The Mexican Defense Ministry has already removed 2 of the soldiers who fired at the migrants. An overcrowded boat capsized in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, killing 78 people. The vessel was seen tilting before sinking into Lake Kivu. The governor of South Kivu said that 278 people were on board that boat. It sank while it was on its way to the port of Kituku. Moving to climate news, Typhoon Krathon has killed at least 2 people in eastern Taiwan. The storm also left the streets of Kaohsiung City flooded. About 178,000 homes in the region are without power. Krathon made landfall as a Category 1 typhoon yesterday. Mexico is bracing for another storm as Tropical Depression 11E is set to make landfall in the country. Mexico's southern coast has been hit by floods. The country has deployed its National Guard and army in Juchitán town near the Pacific coast. Residents have been evacuated to a public shelter. The U.S. National Hurricane Center has warned of more heavy rain. Last week, Hurricane John ravaged southern Mexico, killing at least 22 people. Environment ministers from the G20 nations have accepted Brazil's proposal to form a trust fund for forest conservation. Under the Brazilian initiative, countries with critical biomes will be rewarded for protecting them. The plan is to pay local and indigenous communities that maintain the ecosystems. The decision was taken during a 4-day G20 environment minister meet in Rio de Janeiro. A bushfire in the U.S. state of California has started spreading across the mountain area near Lake Piru. The blaze in Ventura County has reportedly torched over 80 hectares of land. Local officials have warned residents to evacuate the area, even as efforts to douse the fire continue. In Argentina, plastic waste is piling up at the coast of the Valdez Peninsula in Patagonia. The coast is also a marine mammal conservation site. Waste from Argentina's fishing industry threatens marine life, and it's dangerous for animals like sea lions, penguins, and whales. On to business and tech news now. Oil prices remained flat after jumping by about 5% yesterday. The global benchmark Brent crude is trading at around $78 per barrel today. Prices jumped yesterday after a comment by US President Joe Biden. He suggested that Israel is considering the option of striking Iranian oil facilities. A wider conflict in West Asia could significantly disrupt fuel supplies around the globe. A workers' strike at U.S. East Coast ports has ended after 3 days. It was halted after a tentative deal between port operators and workers, which was over wages. The firms have reportedly offered to the workers a pay rise of about 62%. This will be implemented over the next 6 years. The U.S. Republican Party's presidential candidate, Donald Trump, has vowed to retain petrol cars. Speaking at a campaign rally, Trump said that if he was elected, he would block any state ban on petrol vehicles. Several U.S. states have adopted plans to phase out fossil fuel-powered cars in favor of electric or hybrid vehicles. California plans to stop the sales of petrol cars by the year 2035. Tesla is recalling over 27,000 of its Cybertrucks in the U.S. The recall is due to an issue with the electric-powered pickup truck's rear-view camera. Tesla says that delayed images from the camera could impair a driver's vision and increase crash risks. This is the 5th recall of the Tesla Cybertruck since January this year. Earlier, the vehicles were recalled to fix things like software issues, accelerator pedals, and windshield wipers. India has signed an agreement with the US over critical minerals. The two countries are strengthening their supply chains of lithium and cobalt, among other materials. The minerals are used in electric vehicles and renewable energy generation. India and the US will also share equipment, services, policies, and best practices in the sector. Germany reportedly plans to vote against European Union tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles. The move was proposed earlier this year and aims to substantially raise import tariffs on Chinese EVs. It'll be put to a vote by EU member states today. Unless 15 EU members support the measure, it cannot be implemented. Reports say that the automobile industry has been pressuring Germany to vote against the tariffs. The share price of America's Spirit Airlines dropped by 30% yesterday. This was after reports said that the airline is planning to file for bankruptcy. Spirit Airlines' merger with JetBlue Airways was blocked in January this year. The American carrier Spirit has been facing steep losses. Spirit Airlines reported over $3 billion in debt last year. Singapore's Temasek Holdings is reportedly in talks to buy a stake in the Indian snack maker Haldiram's. Temasek wants to buy a minority stake in the Indian firm. Reports say that the deal could raise Haldiram's market valuation to $11 billion. American tech firm Cisco is reportedly set to invest in the cloud services provider CoreWeave. The New Jersey-based CoreWeave helps build infrastructure to power artificial intelligence workloads. Cisco's investment in the firm would likely raise its valuation to $23 billion. The U.S. state of Texas has sued the Chinese social media app TikTok. The state accused the platform of violating children's privacy. The lawsuit claims that TikTok shares children's personal data without parental consent. Texas is seeking to impose penalties of up to $10,000 for each violation. Moving to sports, we start with cricket. Bangladesh started their Women's T20 World Cup campaign on a positive note. They secured a landmark 16-run win over Scotland in the tournament opener. Bangladesh won the toss and chose to bat first. The team posted 119 runs in the first innings. Scotland finished at just 103 for 7. Meanwhile, Pakistan won their opening match in the T20 Women's World Cup as well. They defeated Sri Lanka by 31 runs. Pakistan posted 116 runs in the first innings. Sri Lanka were chasing 117 for victory, but Pakistani spinners overpowered Sri Lanka and picked up wickets in quick succession. Sri Lanka eventually settled at 85 runs in their 20 overs. Sri Lankan spinner Praveen Jayavikrama has been banned from all forms of cricket for a year. The ban was imposed after he did not report that he was approached for match fixing. The International Cricket Council found him guilty of corruption. 6 months of his ban was suspended, though, after Jayavikrama accepted the allegations against him. In football, Manchester United drew 3-3 with FC Porto in a Europa League thriller. United were up 2-0 early on with goals from Marcus Rashford and Rasmus Højlund. Pepe hit one back for Porto in the 27th minute to make it 2-1. Then Samu Omorodion put Porto ahead with a goal on either side of half-time. United's troubles increased after midfielder Bruno Fernandes was given a red card in the 81st minute. But Harry Maguire came to the rescue and scored in injury time to salvage a draw for the Red Devils. Football's global governing body, FIFA, has again postponed a decision to ban Israel from the sport. The appeal to ban Israel from competitions was brought by Palestine. The Palestinian Football Association demanded that Israel be punished over its war in Gaza. FIFA has postponed its rulings on the matter multiple times. Instead, it is now looking into allegations of discrimination raised by Palestine. Over in the Saudi Pro League, Karim Benzema and his team Al Ittihad beat Al Akhdud 2-1. The former Real Madrid striker scored for his club in the 50th minute of the match. Hossam Orar doubled Al Ittihad's lead just before the end of regular time. Al Akhdud managed one goal late in the match before the final whistle. Kylian Mbappe has been excluded from France's squad for the upcoming UEFA Nations League matches. The decision was made to let the French captain heal from a thigh injury. France has replaced Mbappe with Michael Olise. France will play Israel and Belgium in their upcoming UEFA Nations League fixtures. In tennis, women's world number 6 Coco Gauff continues her unbeaten run in Beijing. The American has now entered the semi-finals of the China Open. She defeated Ukraine's Yulia Starodutsyeva 2-6, 6-2, 6-2. Gauff next faces Paula Badosa from Spain for a spot in the final. India's Sport Minister announced the release of the draft National Sports Policy. The measure aims to modernize India's sporting framework. States and union territories can submit their feedback via the ministry's website. Once the policy is finalized, it will act as a model for states without their own sports policies. French luxury giant LVMH has signed a 10-year sponsorship deal with Formula One. The deal includes its brands Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy and Tag Heuer. It is valued at over $100 million annually. The sponsorship will start in 2025. In entertainment news, American singer and songwriter Bruce Springsteen has endorsed Kamala Harris for president. He said in a video that Harris is committed to a vision for the U.S. that respects and includes everyone. The singer also called Donald Trump the most dangerous candidate for president. American country singer Garth Brooks has been sued for allegedly raping a hairstylist. The victim, Jane Roe, has filed a case accusing him of sexual assault and battery. She claims in her suit that he raped her during a work trip in a hotel in 2019. However, Brooks' team has denied all these accusations. American singer Demi Lovato has opened up about her ongoing eating disorder treatment. She follows a treatment which has been helping her for the past 6 years. The singer said that she's trying to learn body acceptance to feel positive. She also regularly consults a nutritionist and therapist specializing in eating disorders. American singer Charlie Puth is counting days for his upcoming show to begin streaming. The singer plays a slightly but a very exaggerated role of himself in the Charlie Puth Show. He says that the unscripted show features people from his life, including Hollywood stars. It'll premiere on the 4th of October. American rapper Eminem is going to become a grandfather soon. In an emotional song video, he revealed the news to his fans. The song video is part of the rapper's latest album, The Death of Slim Shady. He dedicated the song to his daughter, Haley Jade. George Harrison's Beatles guitar will be up for auction in November. According to the auction house, the guitar could fetch up to $800,000. Harrison, who was the lead guitarist of the band, used the instrument in the 1960s. In 1964, he donated the instrument to a rock magazine as a competition prize. Alec Baldwin's Rust will finally see the light of day. 3 years after the tragic death of the cinematographer Halyna Hutchins on the set, the film will get a world premiere at Poland's Camera Image International Film Festival. A panel discussion will also be held after the film's premiere. The cinematographer died when a prop gun handled by Baldwin was accidentally discharged during production in 2021. Australian actor Rebel Wilson has countersued the producers of The Deb. She has accused them of theft, bullying and sexual misconduct. This comes months after the film's producers sued Wilson for defamation after she accused them of sexual harassment and embezzlement in a social media video. That 90s show has been cancelled by Netflix after 2 seasons. The franchise's star, Kurtwood Smith, wrote an emotional message on Instagram thanking everyone who has supported them. This show was a follow-up series to that 70s show. It brought the cast together after nearly 2 decades. Oscar-winning actor Faye Dunaway has been roped in for the film The Evilry. The actor will play the role of a spiritualist who guides her cousin to a dark secret. She will star opposite actors like Billy Zane, Dylan Walsh, and Evan Ross. Other details about the film are still under wraps. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay